This page is the exciting cover of a Sega Saturn magazine, featuring a vibrant anime character in a school uniform with striking checkered ribbons, seemingly running late while eating toast. This issue is packed with essential content for any Saturn owner. The cover highlights a special report on Langrisser IV, a deep strategy RPG. It also features popular titles like the dating sim Dukyusei 2, Dragon Knight 4, and other interesting Japanese games like Route 40, Graduation Knees, Pretty Sammy, and Harukaze Sentai V-Force. For strategy enthusiasts, there are guides for action-packed games such as Assault Suit Lanos 2, The Atmospheric Far East of Eden, The Apocalypse IV, The Legendary Adventure of Tomb Raider, and the critically acclaimed visual novel Even Burst Error. Furthermore, the cover teases special reports on upcoming Sega titles, including Neon Genesis, Evangelion Second Impression, Martian Successor Nadesico, and the puzzle fun of Hanagumi Tyson columns, showcasing the diverse range of genres available on the system at the time. As a bonus, the magazine includes a valuable 32-page appendix, with game data and guides formatted as a CD jacket. This issue clearly offers a comprehensive look at the Saturn scene in early 1997. This page is a deep dive into Neon Genesis Evangelion Second Impression for the Sega Saturn, a scenario-making adventure scheduled for release on March 7th for 6,800 yen. The game introduces Yamagishi Mayumi, an original character exclusive to this title, featured prominently in the artwork alongside game screenshots showing the iconic Evangelion units and characters rendered with real-time polygon graphics. The presentation highlights key moments and dialogue, giving players a glimpse into the game's story and emotional depth. A special bonus includes a single CD and original cards. Below the main feature, there are brief advertisements showcasing real-grade Evangelion figures of Units 01, 00 Kai, and 02, available February 22nd for 1,980 yen each, and the Sega Saturn console itself priced at 20,000 yen. This page introduces a truly unique game from Warp, titled Real Sound, Kaze no Regret, for the Sega Saturn. The left side features the large white title, Real Sound, over a black background, accompanied by barcode graphics, and the developer name, Warp, presented vertically. The right side is predominantly white, with faint background figures, and features a large block of braille dots which, when translated, spell out, "The Warp game is new kind of game, Real Sound." Below this, the Japanese text explains that Warp is presenting a completely new game with no visuals, an interactive story played solely through sound, set to appear on the Sega Saturn in the summer of 1997. This page focuses entirely on highlighting the innovative, visualist concept of the game. This page showcases the game Hypersecurities S on the left, an exciting Bishujo police training simulation game developed by Victor Interactive Software. The vibrant artwork features the game's attractive female leads, highlighting their distinct designs and suggesting an engaging, character-focused experience. The page prominently features the game's price and confirms its release. It also draws attention to the voice talent involved by showing portraits of the actresses. Small screenshots give a glimpse into the game's adventure and simulation elements. The right side serves as the magazine's table of contents, providing a roadmap of the exciting features within. Key articles cover popular titles like Classmates 2, Dragon Knight 4, Sentimental Graffiti, Magical Girl Pretty Sammy, and Tokimeki Memorial Selection. There are dedicated sections for Sega power-up reports detailing games like Last Bronx and JIKU Powerful Pro Baseball 97. Special reports on titles such as Langrisser IV and Cat the Ripper, and strategy guides for games like Enemy Zero. The page also previews the cover of the upcoming issue, featuring Classmates 2, and mentions various regular features like reader contributions, game databases, and ranking charts. It's packed with insights into the Sega Saturn scene at the time. This page dives deep into the Sega Saturn port of the popular Bishujo game Classmates 2, following up on the mention from the previous page's table of contents. It highlights the game's exclusive features on the Saturn, promising original artwork and entirely new scenes not present in the original PC release. The left side showcases beautiful character art and a scene snippet featuring a character eating lunch. The right side continues with more character art and scene previews, including characters on stairs, another eating scene, and a character sleeping. The article emphasizes that these additions, ranging from revised graphics based on original designs to completely new sequences, make the Saturn version a must-play, even for those familiar with the game. It also briefly mentions exclusive material for Graduation, The page gives a glimpse into the characters and the updated visual experience awaiting players on the Saturn. This page delves into two notable Bishujo titles on the Saturn, highlighting the exclusive content and enhancements they offer. On the left, the focus is on the Saturn version of Graduation. Presented as a side story originally bundled with Classmates 2 on PC, it introduces the heroine, Mayuki Yanagihara, featuring her character profile and detailing her role in the story centered around protagonist Sanjuro. The right side makes a strong case for the Saturn port of Classmates 2, asserting its superiority over other console versions. It praises the graphical quality and character development achieved through voice acting and original drama CD content, even noting that while there are no entirely new characters, existing ones feel more fleshed out. A key point of interest highlighted is the ability to pursue romantic roots with the teachers, Ms. Katagiri and Ms. Surusawa, a possibility not present in previous versions. The page also mentions enhanced episodes for supporting characters, and praises the BGM, specifically the piano arrangement for the opening theme. Visually, the page is filled with character illustrations and scene previews, showcasing the updated art style and dramatic moments. This page features Dragon Knight 4, making its way to the Sega Saturn. Known as a popular PC game by Elf, this port is presented as the culmination of console releases, benefiting from research into previous versions to deliver a high-quality experience focusing on original game elements. Gameplay is divided into two distinct modes: the tactical simulation mode, where battles unfold on a grid similar to strategic RPGs, and the quest mode, offering adventure game-style exploration of towns and dungeons. The narrative progresses by switching between these modes, with important story scenes featuring impressive visual sequences. The Saturn version boasts an exclusive original opening sequence, showcasing new character artwork like the mysterious Marlene, the villain Lucifer, and Sail soaring on a dragon. The page also highlights a cast showcase featuring protagonist Kakeru and his allies, including the popular Gina. Visual fidelity is emphasized, noting the game utilizes a high-resolution mode, promising detailed visuals. Overall, it positions the Saturn port as a definitive version of the classic fantasy simulation RPG. This page delves deeper into the world of Dragon Knight 4, focusing heavily on the protagonist Kakeru and his growing cast of companions. It features detailed profiles and artwork for several key characters. We see Kakeru himself, described as the hero and son of the previous game's protagonist, highlighting his journey of growth. There's Sail, with a mysterious background tied to the Dragon Knight lineage. Et is introduced as a skilled swordsman shrouded in enigma. Marlene, an elf seeking revenge against Lucifer, is also profiled, emphasizing her beauty and archery prowess, accompanied by striking artwork. The page also introduces the concept of expanding the party as the adventure progresses. It notes that while the initial group is small, more characters will join, some through story progression, and others by solving specific events. The feature showcases several potential party members, including Kakeru's childhood friend Natasha, the energetic hobbit Gina, mentioned on the previous page, the mage Nilaide, the tomboy Bianca, the elf archers Mayfair and Clarice, sisters, Mayfair being the older and Clarice the younger tomboy, the dynamic duo Tarnian and Pandora, a ninja and a seductive woman waiting for a chance against Lucifer. The artwork for each character provides a clear visual representation of the diverse cast players can recruit to build their preferred party composition in this fantasy simulation RPG. This page details the Saturn version of Dragon Knight 4, highlighting significant additions. Over 50 new illustrations by Masaki Take enhance story scenes and visuals. Projected PC artwork, including character designs for Neptune, Helene, and Natasha, may be included. The Saturn version improves the simulation mode, adding unique character movement. Voice acting remains largely the same as the FX version, but the BGM is rearranged, and the opening theme features new voice tracks. The story has been adjusted to comply with a different rating, altering or replacing ethically sensitive or violent scenes. Numerous illustrations of key characters, Marlene, Bianca, etc., are shown, some modified from the PC version, demonstrating a significant visual and narrative enhancement for the Saturn release. This page features Graduation Urs, a well-regarded racing simulation game coming to the Sega Saturn. The premise places the player as a new high school teacher responsible for guiding 5 unique problem students through their final year to ensure they graduate. The gameplay involves managing the students' schedules, dealing with various school events throughout the year, such as tests, school festivals, and long breaks like summer vacation and ski trips. Success in improving the students' skills and resolving their issues impacts their future, leading to various endings like attending a top university, getting a job, or even becoming an idol. Failure is also a possible outcome. The page introduces the 5 distinct students: Reiko Takashiro, Kiyomi Arai, Mami Shimura, Mika Kato, and Shizuka Nakamoto, each with their own personality and challenges the player must help them overcome. Screenshots showcase various aspects of the game, including schedule management, exam scenes, event illustrations like the school festival, and character portraits during conversations and events. The Saturn version is highlighted for its enhanced user interface and the addition of full voice acting, building upon its legacy as a classic of the genre. This page features Sentimental Graffiti, a highly anticipated romance simulation game on the Sega Saturn. The game centers around the protagonist traveling the country in search of 12 girls from his past, each living in a different region of Japan, and developing romantic relationships with them. The page showcases various aspects of the game, including the main game screen, which appears to feature character interactions with scenic backgrounds, possibly in Hokkaido, based on the image showing a ranch. Crucially, the game utilizes full-size CG illustrations for significant event scenes, promising high-quality visuals to enhance the emotional impact of key moments. There are also sections detailing the character designs and, notably, the wide range of character expressions that will be present in the game, indicating a focus on conveying character emotions realistically within the simulation genre. The game boasts 12 distinct and charming heroines, offering diverse romantic possibilities across Japan. The presentation emphasizes the travel aspect, hinting that players will explore famous locations as they pursue relationships with the girls. This page features more information about Sentimental Graffiti, focusing on supplementary content and the voice actors. It highlights a first-window digital art collection featuring high-quality CG illustrations, information about the 12 voice actors, and messages from them. The main focus is an interview section with 6 of the newly chosen voice actresses for the game's heroines. Photos of the voice actors are shown alongside illustrations of the characters they will portray: Nanase Yu, Endo Akira, Adachi Taeko, Yamamoto Rurika, Hoshino Asuka, and Nagakura Emiru. The actresses share insights into the audition process and their feelings about being selected for this significant project. Additional illustrations at the bottom showcase other heroines, including Nanase Yu, Sawatori Honoka, Endo Akira, Sugihara Manami, and Mori Kaho, providing a look at the diverse cast of characters players will encounter across Japan. This page features a look at Magical Girl Pretty Sammy, an adventure game coming to the Sega Saturn from NEC Interchannel. Based on the popular anime and OVA series, the game brings the magical girl action to the Saturn, promising a story based on the TV anime's world, which differs from the PlayStation version based on the OVA. The page showcases vibrant artwork of the main characters, including the protagonist Sasami Kawai, in her Pretty Sammy form, alongside her companion Ryu Goroki. Character profiles introduce Sasami, her rival Misao Amano, who becomes Pixie Misa, and other familiar faces like Tsunami and Sasami's school friends. Screenshots give a glimpse of the game's visuals, showing character portraits during dialogue, classroom scenes, and even a dynamic transformation sequence. The development is noted as being 30% complete, suggesting the game is still early in production, but aims to deliver the quality animation and storytelling fans expect from the series. This looks like a fun adaptation for fans of the popular Magical Girl spin-off. This page introduces Kamome Daisakusen Megamitachi no Sasayaki, an SF adventure simulation coming to the Sega Saturn from Jiving. Set in a near-future Tokyo devastated by a mysterious explosion, the game follows a group of girls piloting robots to defend against an invading organization. The gameplay features both adventure segments driven by player choice, leading to multiple endings, and simulation battles utilizing various mechs and biomorphic weapons. The game is structured into 4 episodes, with 3 focusing on the main protagonists, the 3 Kamome sisters. The page highlights exclusive animated visuals, showcasing detailed character expressions and scenes of their school life at St. Shirayuri Gakuen. The sisters are introduced: Miyuki, a high school sports enthusiast; Junko, a high school student who is also a public security agent; and Rina, a middle school student and mecha enthusiast. The featured mechs, like the metal jackets, are central to the simulation battles, and even appear as part of the school's curriculum, adding an interesting layer to the setting. This page is a Valentine's scoop highlighting the upcoming Sega Saturn port of the PlayStation simulation game, Harukaze Sentai V-Force, V-Force. The central theme is the fusion of anime-style characters and cutscenes with a strategic simulation system. The game, described as feeling like watching an anime, features appealing characters, engaging scenarios, and a well-balanced system. It was a hit on PlayStation, filling 3 creeds, and the Saturn version is a complete port, promising beautiful animation. The gameplay involves strategic battles with different unit types like flying, ground, and battleships. Players can select weapons and options for their units, which are crucial for combat and recovery. The page showcases screenshots of the battle interface, unit status, weapon selection, and option selection screens. The story focuses on 4 key female characters who pilot the mechs. Portraits introduce the 3 Aoi sisters, Mizuki, Natsuki, and Kagesetsu, and their rival, Yukina Oda, detailing their age, hobbies, and personality. The reviewer notes the appeal of the cute characters and the game's good tempo, expressing pleasure that Saturn users will get to play this title. The next page is a Valentine's feature spotlighting Tokimeki Memorial Selection. Fujisaki Shiori. This software focuses entirely on the popular heroine Shiori Fujisaki, allowing fans to fully enjoy her charm through various features. It includes music video clips for her debut songs, a date special mode where you can experience seasonal date scenarios with Shiori, a portrait collection showcasing her full-body illustrations from the main game and new ones, and a voice collection featuring her lines. The article highlights her popularity and the various poses and expressions shown in the game. There's also a section promoting Shiori's first album and information about the official fan club, ShioriMate, along with a tie-in snack product. The page emphasizes that this is a must-have item for any Shiori fan. This article describes a romance photo simulation game, Photogenic, for PlayStation, Sega Saturn, and PC. Players take on the role of a freelance photographer, tasked with capturing the best moments of 3 heroines over a year, culminating in a photo contest. The game progresses weekly, balancing workdays with free time for photo opportunities and interactions. Key elements include assessing photo skills based on both portraits and scenery, and adapting to various job demands. The 3 heroines, Orihara Izumi, Sakurai Manami, and Huju Ayano, each have distinct personalities and voice actors. The game emphasizes building relationships with the girls and exploring their changing emotions through conversations and interactions with supporting characters. Winning the contest hinges on capturing their most beautiful moments. This page introduces Angel Graffiti, a romance simulation game making its way to the Sega Saturn from PlayStation, promising significant upgrades and original elements. The game is a simulation where you spend 2 years of high school life aiming to become close with the featured girls. The article showcases the 5 main characters, designed by Matsumoto Izumi, known for his work on Kimagure Orange Road. Profiles are provided for Shimazu Seri, Amano Misuzu, Kitajo Yayoi, Asakura Minori, and Manami Grace, each with unique personalities. The special interview section highlights what's different in the Saturn version. Graphics have been significantly enhanced, with added event scenes. Character interactions and relationship building are deepened, with conversations now having 3 stages based on affection level, and phone conversations expanding to 10 stages. The gameplay flow is improved, with faster event loading and the ability to cancel commands, making for a speedier experience. The page also features illustrations of 2 angel characters, Angel Eve and Angel Freya, who seem central to the game's theme. This page features an introduction to the game, Daisuki, from GameArts, presented as an interactive comic adventure. It delves into the game's world created by manga artist Takemoto, showcasing character design and setting materials. The artwork features key characters, including Emiri and Ainge, in various expressions and poses, along with concept art for creatures like a dinosaur and a pteranodon, highlighting the game's unique visual style. The right side is dedicated to Land, Famimaga Land, an event offering playable demos of upcoming Saturn software. It provides details on transportation to the location and lists the specific software titles available for demo play on given weekends, including titles like NBA Jam Extreme, Worms, and Shin Seiki Evangelion Second Impression. It also highlights a special Sunday Member Day event. The bottom section contains a brief promotion for the latest issue of the weekly magazine, highlighting its featured articles. The next page provides an updated look at Neon Genesis Evangelion, Second Impression for the Sega Saturn. Presented as a second impression, the article details the game's progress as its release approaches. It's described as a scenario-making adventure game that includes a significant amount of bonus content, specifically designed for Evangelion fans. The page highlights a newly revealed scenario titled Episode X and showcases the game's adventure portions using polygon graphics, depicting intense battles between the EVA units and the Angels. Screenshots illustrate different environmental settings, including day, dusk, and night scenes of the iconic Third Tokyo, emphasizing the lighting effects used to enhance the atmosphere. A particularly interesting reveal is a minigame, snippets of which are shown with pixel art characters. The article mentions this bonus game is themed around a specific episode from the anime, adding an extra layer of fan service. Basic game information like the release date and price is also included. Overall, the page gives a strong preview, confirming the game will cover key elements of the series' combat and story, while offering unique fan-focused features. This page delves further into Neon Genesis Evangelion, Second Impression, focusing on character interactions and school life within the game. The large headline suggests that everything shown is within the scope of potential adjustments as development progresses. Several screenshots illustrate key moments: Shinji, Asuka, and Misato interacting in Misato's apartment, Asuka practicing singing intensely, school scenes featuring Shinji and Asuka talking, and other characters like Tuji and Kensuke. There is also a focus on a new character, Mayumi, who appears in the library scene. The game is confirmed to feature a substantial amount of story, focusing on the characters' daily lives and relationships, expanding upon the adventure elements. A significant portion of the page is dedicated to an interview with Koki Motegi, a designer on the game. He discusses the development process, the inclusion of original scenarios and characters like the transfer student, and the balance between serious themes and more lighthearted, dotabata, slapstick elements. He mentions the flow of battle is easier to understand compared to the previous game and touches upon bonus content. The page also includes a brief mention of a prize item related to the game, a series of puffy mirrors featuring character art, part of the EVA Complementary Committee's 4th report. Overall, the page provides a detailed look at the game's focus on character development and everyday life alongside the main story, highlighted by insights from the development team. This page dives into the details of Iron Storm, known as Advanced World War in Japan, a simulation game focusing on the Third German Empire. The main headline announces the arrival of the opening movie and reveals specifics about the game system and the appearance of German forces. The article highlights that the game's opening movie is a compelling mix of detailed polygon graphics and live-action footage, setting a serious and immersive tone. The visual design of the user interface is also discussed, noting how the oppressive atmosphere of the German Empire is reflected, even incorporating the Hakenkreuz, swastika, on the menu screen to convey this sense of gravity. The game promises realistic weapon modeling, with polygon representations of over 700 units. Players can view these models from various angles and zoom levels. Battle scenes are animated and detailed, contributing to the intense combat experience. The page also touches on the Military Academy mode, featuring characters like Colonel Rudolph Rodriguez, suggesting a strong emphasis on training and strategy within the game. Overall, the report indicates that Iron Storm aims for a realistic and impactful portrayal of its setting through detailed visuals and system design. This page continues our deep dive into Iron Storm, known as Advanced World War in Japan, focusing heavily on the Military Academy. Here, players learn the game's core systems through detailed lectures, covering everything from basic movement and combat in the beginner course, to more complex topics like reinforcement, occupation, and dual map mechanics in the intermediate and advanced classes. The page shows how performance in these lectures directly impacts your character's abilities, leading up to the crucial graduation exam. This exam is a practical test of everything you've learned, requiring you to apply strategy in real combat scenarios. Key strategic elements highlighted include the distinct roles of air and ground reconnaissance, with air units offering wider range, but ground units being essential for close-range scouting. The game also incorporates a day/night cycle and weather effects, which significantly impact unit performance, especially air operations. The page provides a step-by-step example of a graduation exam mission over 6 turns, demonstrating how players must plan their movements and attacks considering the time of day, enemy positions, and unit capabilities. This turn-based breakdown illustrates the strategic depth required to succeed in Iron Storm. This page features a Sega power-up report focusing on the development of Last Bronx for the Sega Saturn. It announces that development is progressing well and reveals new development screenshots. The main highlight is the introduction of the second playable character, Yoko, who wields a staff. Screenshots show Yoko battling Tommy, who uses Tonfa, demonstrating the early polygonal graphics and gameplay. The AM3 development team provides commentary, stating that while development is only 10% complete, they are focusing on perfecting character models and basic movement before moving on to backgrounds and advanced systems. The page concludes by teasing the rest of the main cast, including Kurosawa, Yusaku, Lisa, and Joe, promising future character reveals. This page features the Sega Power-Up Report, covering 2 upcoming titles. The first is Pro Baseball Greatest 997, which is pursuing greater realism in its system and presentation. It highlights enhanced edit mode, allowing players to create their ideal athletes down to their personality, and the detailed recreation of real-life player habits and forms through motion capture. Screenshots show various modes, including the popular home run contest, now improved for better visual feedback and supporting 4 players. The second game is Sakura Wars Hanagumi Taisen Columns. This title brings the beloved characters of Sakura Wars into a column-style puzzle game. While it features competitive puzzle play, the report focuses on the story mode, promising engaging interactions and dialogue with the characters. Screenshots reveal scenes from the story alongside the familiar gem-matching gameplay, teasing mysteries and character dynamics from the Sakura Wars universe. This page features Sega Power-Up Report 6, highlighting the upcoming Sega Saturn game, Martian successor Nadesico. This title adapts the popular TV anime into an adventure game focused on character interaction and romance. The report emphasizes the game takes place on the Nadesico ship, populated by many beautiful crew members. The core gameplay appears to involve navigating the ship, communicating with characters, and progressing through story events, aiming for a love battle royale among the crew for the protagonist, Akito. Screenshots show menu interfaces for movement and communication, a view of the Nadesico ship, and character portraits. The subtitle, Love Wins in the End, hints at the romantic focus. The article suggests the game will capture the unique personalities and charm of the anime characters in this adventure format. Characters like Yurika, Ruri, Ryuko, Hikaru, and Izumi are featured, along with protagonist Akito and the passionate guy Daigoji. This page features Sega Power-Up Report 8, focusing on the upcoming Sega Saturn release of the arcade hit, Manx TT Superbike. The article proudly announces the reveal of the latest Saturn screenshots for this highly anticipated motorcycle racer, promising a fan-favorite experience. It highlights the game's recreation of the real Manx TT course, a challenging public road race featuring high speeds exceeding 200 km per hour. The course traverses diverse environments, including city streets, rural areas, mountains, and coastal roads, complete with signature jump points and opportunities for wheelies. The report details the course structure, which is based on the real Isle of Man and arranged into 2 types: the beginner-friendly Laxey Coast with fewer tight corners, and the expert-level TT course that takes players through challenging mountain and rural sections. Screenshots showcase the detailed graphics and various viewpoints, including a behind-the-rider perspective and a view slightly higher up. The article notes the arcade version's unique controls were popular and expresses anticipation for how they will translate to the Saturn pad. It also teases the addition of original modes and features beyond the arcade perfect port, such as anticipated time attack and versus modes. This page presents a stylish Konami advertisement featuring a classic Ford Mustang parked on a road next to tall cane fields under a bright blue sky, with a person dressed in a suit and hat leaning against the car. The scene sets a cool, relaxed tone, emblazoned with the text, Konami de Mode. The right side of the spread features Konami's software lineup for the Sega Saturn, showcasing a diverse range of titles available. The selection includes popular series like the classic shooters Parodius, featuring titles such as Sexy Parodius and Jikyu Oshibari Parodius, alongside the legendary Gradius Deluxe Pack and Twinbee Deluxe Pack. Also highlighted are adventure games from Hideo Kojima, specifically the acclaimed Policenauts and the cyberpunk classic Snatcher. The lineup is rounded out with various other genres, including puzzle games like Tokimeki Memorial Taisen Puzzle Dama and Chibi Maruko-chan Taisen Puzzle Dama, as well as simulation with Tokimeki Memorial. Many of these titles are listed as being now on sale, presenting a robust collection of Konami hits for Saturn owners. This page showcases the latest entry in the popular puzzle series, Puyo Puyo Sun, making its way to the Sega Saturn. The artwork features the game's iconic vibrant characters, including Arlnaja and Carbuncle, alongside the new Sun-themed logo. The game promises exciting new features for fans, including 3 main characters selectable in various modes, and a roster of 15 characters available for competitive battles. A key addition is the Sun Puyo mechanic, allowing players to cancel opponent attacks and set up powerful counter-reversals. All characters feature newly recorded voiceovers for the Man's Eye demo and chain sequences, adding personality to the matches. The game also includes the classic Tokoton Puyo Puyo Endless Mode. Puyo Puyo Sun was released on February 14, 1997, retailing for 4,800 yen, excluding tax, and came with limited bonuses like shiny stickers and a campaign for early buyers. This page features promotional material for the Sega Saturn fighting game, Anarchy in the Nippon. Developed by Media Muse, this 3D fighter boasts a unique pedigree, created in collaboration with 4 prominent figures known as the Iron Men of fighting games: Shinjuku Jackie, Bunbun Maru, Kashiwa Jeffrey, and Ikebukuro Sarah. Character designs were handled by Atsushi Keisei. The page highlights this collaboration, positioning the game as the ultimate 3D fighting experience crafted by experts who truly understand the genre. The imagery includes a striking red fingerprint graphic alongside the game's title and photos of the collaborating team. Several 3D character models from the game are also showcased. Anarchy in the Nippon was scheduled for release in late April 1997 with a price of 5,800 yen. This page features the Sega Saturn game, Shin Kaitei Gunkan, Kutetsu no Kodoku, a near-future war simulation released in March 1997. The game pits players against a sudden giant UFO invasion, where conventional weapons are useless, relying on a resurrected superweapon from the past, the undersea warship Rago. The striking imagery shows this unique drilling battleship alongside a more traditional vessel, hinting at the blend of old and new technology. The page highlights the notable staff involved, including character designer Yoshikazu Yasuhiko and mechanic designer Makoto Kobayashi. Key characters like Gao Arisaka, Matetsu Arisaka, and Annette are featured with their voice actors listed, promising a grand epic story filled with mystery and charm. Screenshots provide a glimpse into the virtual 3D battle space and strategic interface of the game. This page is an advertisement from Digicube promoting the convenience of buying video games at convenience stores like 7-Eleven, Family Mart, and Sunkus. The core concept is purchasing games using special product cards found on a dedicated game rack, showcasing a modern way to acquire titles beyond traditional game stores. Digicube even broadcasts information via a game information station channel, highlighting their integration into various media. The ad emphasizes that convenience stores with Digicube are the place to go for the Saturn and PlayStation software you want, available anytime. It showcases a range of popular titles available through this system, including Saturn games like Enemy Zero, Far East of Eden, The Apocalypse IV, Daytona USA Circuit Edition, Puyo Puyo Sun, and Digital Dance Mix. PlayStation titles featured include Final Fantasy V2, Bushido Blade, marketed as a convenience store exclusive with a limited guidebook offer, Parappa the Rapper, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, Formula 1, Clock Tower, Soul Blade, Wild Arms, and new Super Robot Wars. The service also offers a mail order option via a toll-free number. It's clear Digicube aimed to make game purchasing as simple and accessible as picking up a drink or snack. This page features a double spread showcasing 2 distinct Sega Saturn titles. On the left is Quo Vadis 2, an anime-styled simulation RPG. The artwork depicts several key characters set against a cosmic backdrop, reflecting the game's science fiction theme. Small screenshots hint at the tactical gameplay. The page emphasizes the successful fusion of anime presentation and game mechanics, promising deep strategy across diverse missions, and featuring over 70 characters. Quo Vadis 2 was scheduled for a March 28, 1997 release. The right side promotes Elevator Action Returns, a modern take on the classic action arcade game. Striking character art shows the playable operatives ready for action in a high-tech setting, complemented by several screenshots showing the intense side-scrolling shooting gameplay across multiple floors and environments. The text highlights the return of this beloved action series to the Sega Saturn, challenging players to combat terrorists and escape within a time limit. A significant bonus mentioned is that this release includes the original Elevator Action game alongside the sequel. Elevator Action Returns was set to launch on February 14, 1997. This page presents a split advertisement showcasing 2 distinct gaming experiences. On the left, the focus is on 04 Champ Doozy J Typer for the Sega Saturn. This entry in the 04 Champ racing series is highlighted by a striking illustration of a blue rally car. likely a Mitsubishi Lancer evolution, underscoring the game's simulation and street racing roots. The vertical text emphasizes the series' evolution. 04 no Shinka wa Tomaranai. The evolution of 04 doesn't stop. It's noted as a Sega Saturn exclusive, with a standard price of 6,800 yen, tax excluded, and a near-future release date. Early buyers received special Zeroion stickers. A related music CD release is also mentioned for February 26, 1997. The right side promotes Cube Battler Story of Show for the PlayStation. This title is described as a digital battle animation, promising a game experience that surpasses traditional OVAs. The vibrant anime artwork features a cast of characters engaged in dynamic poses around cubic battle arenas. The core concept integrates story and battles seamlessly, offering a new kind of interactive animation experience. Key voice actors are listed, including Ishida Akira, Kosugi Juruta, Takada Yumi, Nakamura Daiki, Hirakawa Tadashi, Takatu Yuji, and Yasuda Nobumasa. Scheduled for a February 1997 release, initial copies included a bonus color picture CD calendar. The page emphasizes reserving the game. This page features a double dose of upcoming Sega Saturn and PlayStation titles. On the left, we have the highly anticipated assault suit, Lanos 2 for the Sega Saturn, set for release on February 21, 1997, priced at 5,900 yen, tax excluded. This sequel promises even more strategic and dynamic mecha combat. The visuals showcase a sleek, dark blue assault suit with a futuristic HUD overlay. The game introduces new systems allowing players to select mechs and weapons, deploy up to 4 weapons directly, utilize auto-aim for easier play, though experts can disable it, and features a dynamic difficulty system that adjusts based on player skill. Early buyers received a special bonus data card. The right side promotes Voice Fantasia, arriving in May 1997 for both Sega Saturn and PlayStation, priced at 6,800 yen, tax excluded. Billed as a voice fantasy adventure, this game blends anime and live-action segments to tell a story about a hero summoned to a world-facing crisis, aided by 3 heroines, who have different appearances in anime and live-action scenes. The artwork prominently features the 3 main anime heroines. Limited edition bonuses include a premium Chrysadrome with making ANOV footage and a voice actor fanbook. This page is primarily an advertisement for an internet service provider called InterQ, specifically targeting Sega Saturn users. It promotes the service as an easy and affordable way to get online, highlighting that there are no initial or monthly fees and no credit card is needed, as usage is billed via the phone bill. A key selling point is the pay only for what you use model and the promise of a speedy 3 Mbps connection. The page also features a limited time campaign for new center openings, offering an incredibly low rate of 10 yen for 3 minutes of internet use during February. Users can also get a free email address and access a web guide service with search tools and recommended homepages. A free trial dial number is provided for users to test the service. The advertisement emphasizes ease of access and suitability for users new to the internet, particularly those using a Sega Saturn modem. This page is a detailed guide and advertisement for the InterQ internet service, specifically tailored for Sega Saturn users back in the day. It prominently features the pay only for what you use model with a rate of 20 yen per minute, offering the first 20 seconds free, and emphasizes that there are no initial or monthly fees required, a big deal for dial-up services. It also offers a separate plan called Pokiri 300, where you could connect for unlimited time for a flat rate of 300 yen per session, which is pretty incredible value if you plan to be online for a while. The main focus on the right side is a step-by-step setup guide using the official Sega Saturn Internet Volume 1 software. It walks users through installing the modem, inserting the Koidrom, navigating the menu, and critically, entering the connection details like the specific DNS address, 202.231.231.40, and using the standard guest login and password. This was essential for getting online with the Saturn. The page also lists the regional access numbers for the service across Japan and provides contact information for support and inquiries, ensuring newcomers to the internet on the Saturn had resources available. This page prominently features Variable Geo Advanced for the Sega Saturn, showcasing striking artwork of the main character and screenshots depicting gameplay and cutscenes. The title suggests the character's transformation into a powerful figure in battle. The page details the game's release date in March 1997. And pricing, including a special limited edition that came with a jigsaw puzzle. It also promotes an original video series related to the game. A significant news item on the page reports on the surprising closure of Time Warner Interactive Japan, a third-party developer known for titles like Psychic Assassin Terumaru, with screenshots of the game displayed. Other sections cover various aspects of the Saturn scene, including general news updates in News Dynamite, game rankings, a Sega development diary, and a Saturn game database. There's also an announcement recruiting new members for the Capcom Friendly Club, promising special benefits. This page is a reader response postcard included in Saturn Fan Magazine, issue number 4. It serves as a vital connection between the readers and the editorial team, allowing fans to participate in surveys, rankings, and giveaways. The card is pre-addressed to Tokuma Shuten Intermedia in Tokyo, where the magazine was published, and includes space for readers to affix a 50-yen stamp. Sections are provided for readers to enter their personal details such as name, address, age, and gender. The core of the card features numbered entry fields, likely used for readers to rank their favorite games for the Ranking Street poll, or to list desired gifts for the magazine's present giveaway. There is also a dedicated game performance chart, where readers can mark their experiences with specific titles, including games like NHL Powerplay, 96, Area 51, and the quirky Three Stooges adaptation. This postcard was the primary method for Sega Saturn enthusiasts to share their opinions and engage with the magazine's content and community features, like the Conehead Club. This page dives into various multimedia aspects surrounding games and anime. There's a radio show featuring producer Koji Inuma, likely discussing industry insights. A major highlight is the live-action adaptation of the classic fighting game The Last Bronx. The screenshots suggest they're aiming for realistic fight choreography, which is exciting for fans. We also see a collection of featured media releases, including the vocal album Lunar Songs 2, CD dramas for popular series like Speed Student Council, Red House, and Graduation, plus a virtual on-radio drama CD, all often tied into popular franchises. Konami is stepping into the digital age with a new internet radio station, and is even hosting an event to celebrate. On the merchandise front, there's a fun photocard printing machine, and a cool Bomberman-themed AV selector available. Finally, you can win some great gear in the giveaway, including an Even Burst Error poster and limited edition Neon Genesis Evangelion models. Winners from a previous contest are also announced. This page provides an in-depth strategy guide for Tomb Raiders, focusing on navigating its challenging puzzles and action sequences. The guide breaks down key areas, like the multi-level tower and specific rooms within the Inca and Greco-Roman ruins, offering solutions for overcoming obstacles and defeating enemies. It details tactics for dealing with foes such as lions, gorillas, the recurring human enemy Pierre, and even underwater crocodiles. The text emphasizes the importance of combining puzzle-solving skills with precise movement and combat techniques. It also covers specific gameplay mechanics like using levers, moving blocks, and platforming across treacherous gaps. Visual maps accompany the text, illustrating the layout of complex areas and highlighting points of interest. This page offers a comprehensive strategy guide for Tomb Raider's puzzles, enemies, and level navigation. This page continues the comprehensive strategy guide for Tomb Raiders, focusing on overcoming the advanced challenges within the vast ruins. It delves into complex puzzle sequences and action-heavy sections encountered later in the game. Key strategies are detailed for navigating the dangerous environments, including underwater areas, and challenging platforming segments involving intricate jumps and lever puzzles. The guide provides step-by-step instructions for solving specific environmental puzzles, such as manipulating levers in sequence to open doors, or using blocks to progress. It also highlights the importance of precise movement and timing to avoid traps and reach hidden areas. Specific encounters with enemies like gorillas and crocodiles are discussed, offering tips on how to defeat them efficiently. Additionally, the page includes a concise section detailing enemy data encountered in this part of the game. It lists creatures such as crocodiles, gorillas, lions, and the formidable Tyrannosaurus Rex, noting their relative health and typical attack methods. This information is crucial for players to prepare effectively for combat. The guide emphasizes that mastering both puzzle solving and combat is essential for success in these demanding levels. This page provides a comprehensive database listing all 509 Sega Saturn titles released up to February 7, 1997, categorized by genre including action, role-playing, simulation, and adventure. This page continues the comprehensive database of Sega Saturn titles. We're moving through the genres here, covering everything released up to early 1997. You'll find extensive lists for racing games, featuring 21 titles including classics like Daytona USA and Sega Rally Championship. Next up is 2D shooting with 24 entries, showcasing titles like Salamander Deluxe Pack and Tsukyu Gurentai. The 3D shooting section lists 36 games, featuring notable entries such as Panzer Dragoon and Virtua Cop. The database then dives into the sports genre with a massive 40 titles, covering everything from golf and baseball to basketball and soccer, with titles like Virtua Striker and World Cup '98. Finally, it wraps up with table games, 20 titles, and puzzle games, 43 titles, including various mahjong, shogi, and puzzle titles. It's a fantastic resource for tracking the vast library available on the console during this period. This page continues the comprehensive Sega Saturn database, moving beyond standard genres to cover more niche categories and essential hardware. It starts with a substantial list of 32 mahjong titles, showcasing the console's strong support for this popular table game. Following that is a large section detailing 42 simulation games, encompassing a wide variety of titles, including strategy games, pinball like Digital Pinball, Last Gladiators, and even light gun shooters like Virtua Cop. The database then covers 19 educational and database software titles, offering practical or learning-focused software. Finally, before diving into hardware, there's a section for 18 KDROM collections, featuring collections of visual content, notably several volumes of the Virtua Fighter CG Portrait Collection. The latter half of the page shifts focus entirely to the console itself and its peripherals, listing various Saturn hardware models, different types of control pads, joysticks, and other input devices like mice and light guns. It concludes with a list of miscellaneous peripheral devices, such as memory cards and communication accessories, providing a complete overview of the Saturn ecosystem available during this period. This page presents a reader survey and a gift campaign, inviting feedback from the magazine's audience. The survey asks a range of questions including demographic information like school/occupation, age, and gender, as well as reading habits regarding this magazine and others. It delves into preferences for game systems, hardware ownership, and opinions on specific articles within the current issue, asking readers to rate their interest and satisfaction. Furthermore, the survey seeks input on desired future content, such as topics for features or interviews, and asks about preferred games and what kind of information they look for regarding releases. The gift campaign offers prizes to participants who complete the survey, including several Sega Saturn software titles like Virtua Fighter Remix, Neon Genesis, Evangelion, Second Impression, Sakura Wars, Manx TT Superbike, Lunar, Silver Star Story, and Samurai Showdown 2 Eyes, as well as a telephone card featuring artwork. Supporting the survey are various tables listing the contents of the magazine, Table 1, other relevant publications, Table 2, different game consoles and hardware types, Table 3, and a continuation of the comprehensive list of Sega Saturn software titles, Table 4, allowing readers to reference specific items when answering the questions. Notes are also provided on how to properly fill out the survey postcard for it to be processed correctly. This page provides a comprehensive strategy guide for the mecha action game Assault Suits Lanos 2, covering basic systems and the first 3 stages. It details controls, features, and the innovative auto-aiming system. A developer interview with Chisato Ito, discussing his career and the game's development, is included. Reader questions about Sega CS titles are answered, recommending original Saturn experiences like Neon Genesis, Evangelion, Second Impression, and Lunar, Silver Star Story. A gift campaign and staff recruitment notice conclude the page. This page dives deep into the mechanics and strategy for Assault Suits Lanos 2. It highlights the game's sophisticated weapon system, explaining how selecting different weapons changes the camera perspective, enhancing the gameplay depth. The guide also covers the detailed mecha customization, where you can allocate power to mobile, weapon, or repair stats, allowing players to build machines tailored to their playstyle, be it prioritizing speed, offense, or durability. Operational tips include advice on using the manual aim system, especially when facing multiple enemies, and effective evasion techniques, stressing the importance of vertical jumps and horizontal dashing against specific enemy fire. The guide provides strategies for the early stages, including dealing with ground tanks and aerial helicopters, and offers specific tactics for taking down the boss, the NN3 type Bazuram mobile weapon, recommending the use of punches at close range. An interesting detail is noted about battle efficiency, influencing which powerful weapons become available later. This assault suits Lanos 2 strategy guide. Details stages 2 and 3. Stage 2, focusing on defeating boss Alessa, emphasizes weapon strength and napalm use against her durable suit. Players must quickly clear initial enemies and reinforce hatches after the boss battle. Stage 3 is a one-on-one tournament, critical for unlocking future weapons. A weapon-heavy setup is advised, with aggressive strategies for early opponents like Gray and Charmer, and specific tactics for Zarga, similar to the Stage 2 boss, and Wiccan, who is noted for a strong shield and sudden laser attacks. This page continues the strategy guide for Assault Suits Lanos 2, covering stages 4 and 5. Stage 4 focuses on protecting a supply convoy moving towards a shuttle, emphasizing the need to prevent enemies from reaching the vehicles, and noting the appearance of foes that don't show up on radar. Stage 5 discusses tactics for a boss encounter, including specific methods for dodging powerful laser attacks, building on the previous page's breakdown of earlier boss fights. The page also provides a detailed strategy for the action segments of the game Enemy Zero, specifically focusing on the Fall Tower area. It highlights that much of the game involves combat and features floor maps for navigation. Floor 1 is described as straightforward with minimal enemies, while Floor 2's cross-shaped layout is noted as a dangerous area prone to enemy encounters, requiring careful movement. The guide emphasizes using the maps to avoid getting lost and dealing with enemies primarily through combat. This page provides a comprehensive strategy guide for navigating floors 3 through 9 of the treacherous Fall Tower in Enemy Zero. Crucially, it highlights the location of the restroom, a vital spot not just for saving progress, but also for obtaining a powerful new weapon from David's helmet. A gun offering infinite ammo without charging, essential for tackling tougher foes. The guide details the unique challenges of each floor. Floor 3 requires passing a dangerous crossroad to reach the restrooms. Floors 4 introduces the visible enemy larvae, alongside the standard invisible enemies, emphasizing quick targeting before they get close. Subsequent floors, from 5 to 8, increase the complexity with multiple enemy and larvae encounters, often simultaneously, requiring tactical retreats and focusing fire on individual targets. Floor 6's crossroad is particularly risky, due to larvae appearing without the standard warning sound. Floor 8 is noted as the most difficult, featuring varied room layouts that can lead to being easily surrounded. Finally, Floor 9 leads to the small ship launching pad, but not the end, presenting a formidable giant enemy resembling a red heart, best defeated with the new weapon acquired earlier. Maps are provided for each floor to aid navigation through these increasingly perilous levels. This page provides a final strategy guide for Tengai Makyu, Daishi no Mokushiroku, also known as the Apocalypse IV. It covers the endgame, detailing the journey to the final battle in a ruined New York and the approach to the last dungeon. Screenshots show navigation through the desolate city, item acquisition points, and the entrance to the final area located beyond a destroyed building. The guide focuses heavily on the final bosses, the remaining 2 members of the 12 Apostles of Judgment, Sanetomo, and the beast god Logos. Sanetomo, the primary antagonist, is detailed extensively, revealing he has multiple forms, and his strength can actually change based on the player's responses to certain questions, a unique mechanic. Strategies for each of Sanetomo's forms are provided, highlighting his weaknesses, such as light for his main form and earth for his summoned creatures, and certain other forms, like the one requiring 4 separate defeats. The guide also covers the formidable beast god Logos, noting his high attack power and earth weakness, and briefly lists his powerful special attacks. Screenshots showcase the epic battles against these final foes. The importance of utilizing acquired items and the strong equipment found in the final dungeon is emphasized for overcoming these challenging encounters. This page dives into various strategies for the simulation game Princess Maker Legend of Genesis Saber, or PLGS. Part 1 focuses on mastering money-making in the unique Las Vegas location. It explains how the city develops in stages and offers methods like shrewd stock market trading and constructing profitable buildings to earn wealth. Screenshots show the town progression and the stock market interface. The guide also details how to find hidden red, blue, and yellow jigsaw puzzle pieces scattered throughout Las Vegas locations. Part 2 covers the Daddy Long Legs system, centered around interacting with the 3 potential love interests, Anne, Jenny, and Arisa. It explains the importance of paying school fees to raise your daughter's academic level. A key part involves receiving letters from the girls at specific times and locations, often yielding valuable items. Information is provided on when and where to get these letters, and what items you can expect. Finally, the guide touches upon the girls' paths after graduation, and the special items you can obtain by meeting them again later in the game world. Character portraits of the 3 girls, and screenshots of the school and dorm are featured. This page dives into the thrilling latter half of the adventure game Even Burst Error, specifically covering the key events of December 6th and 7th for both protagonists, Kojiro and Marina. It highlights a crucial point where the 2 scenarios intersect, allowing Kojiro and Marina to cooperate via computer communication to extract vital hidden information. The guide details the unfolding events on December 6th for each character. Marina's path involves witnessing Deep being taken and later discovering the gruesome murder of Deep, leading her to investigate the mystery. Kojiro's scenario focuses on his search for Prin, uncovering her true identity as Priscilla, one of the heirs to the Albidia Kingdom, and delving into the secrets surrounding her. Flowcharts outline the various locations and encounters players will experience on these parallel paths. Moving to December 7th, the page sets the stage for the game's climax, taking place aboard a ship. This pivotal day sees the convergence of the Albidia Kingdom's heirs, Priscilla and her sibling, and the fate of the nation hangs in the balance, as both Kojiro and Marina are drawn into the unfolding drama. The narrative explores their motivations and the tragic destiny they are entwined in. The page features several screenshots depicting key character moments and dramatic scenes from these intense segments of the game. This page covers a special audio drama release and the latest Saturn sales rankings. On the left is a feature on the Night Ruth voice selection, a radio drama CD based on the game, capturing recording scenes and featuring comments from the voice cast. It also includes a preview for the 3rd episode of the Night Ruth story. Characters like Shinya Izayoi, Maria Mizunagi, and others are highlighted, along with voice actors such as Ryo Horikawa and Yuko Miyamura. The CD was released on February 28, 1997. The right side presents the ranking streak, providing real sales data for Sega Saturn titles over 2 weeks in late January and early February 1997. The big news is Even Burst Error holding the top spot for 2 consecutive weeks, a testament to its compelling story and character design that resonated with players, despite being a new IP. Other notable titles in the top rankings include Daytona USA Circuit Edition and Dynamite Deca. Die Hard Arcade. The ranking section is based on sales across numerous stores, giving a solid look at what was selling well on the platform at the time. There's also a note about Sonnet opening an internet homepage for game information. This page dives into the ranking street, presenting the latest game rankings based on reader input and sales data. The main feature is the game ranking table, which lists the top-selling titles with details like developer, price, release date, and reader-scored points across various categories. The big news is Far East of Eden, the 4th Apocalypse, taking the #1 spot based on reader reviews, scoring highly across the board. The page includes a detailed look at why readers loved it, with feedback highlighting the engaging story, charming characters, excellent graphics and sound, and immersive atmosphere. Players particularly enjoyed the dramatic presentation and minigames, although some noted issues with load times and aspects of the combat. Other games appearing in the ranking include popular titles like The King of Fighters, 96, Terra Fantastica, Fire Pro Wrestling S, and Suikoden. The page also features comments directly from Hudson, the developer of Far East of Eden, expressing their gratitude for the positive reception and discussing their efforts in creating the game for the fans. It's clear this RPG resonated strongly with Saturn owners. This page continues the ranking street section, detailing the games that place 2nd, 3rd, and 4th based on reader rankings. Coming in at number 2 is The King of Fighters 96. Readers praised the large character roster and overall feel, though some noted issues with loading times and balance, particularly regarding CPU difficulty and certain character moves. Taking the 3rd spot is the simulation RPG Terra Fantastica. Feedback highlighted its cool atmosphere, engaging story, and strategic depth, although load times were also mentioned as a drawback. Players appreciated the character designs and the blend of simulation and action combat. 4th place goes to Fire Pro Wrestling S, 6 Men Scramble. Fans of the Fire Pro series were happy with the character editing options and the core gameplay. Comments focused on the enjoyment of creating wrestlers and putting on great matches, confirming its status as a solid entry in the long-running wrestling series. The page includes brief comments from the developers for each game, expressing gratitude for the feedback and discussing their design choices. Reader feedback and developer comments are presented for games ranked 5th through 12th in a Ranking Street section. Galaxy Fraulein Yuna Remix received praise for graphics and animation, but some missed content changes. Sega Ages. Ichidantra was found challenging but appreciated for minigame variety. Gege no Kataro's graphics were well received, but the story drew some criticism. Suikoden. Oath of Destiny was praised for strategic depth. Gridrunner's unique setting and pace were praised. Hokkaido. The Last Judgment's branching story and combat were noted. Tetris's controls and depth were debated. Funky Head Boxers generated discussion about its boxing elements, but was praised for character customization. This page continues a game ranking discussion, focusing on games 13 to 15. Roadrunner Extra, 13th, is praised for its enjoyable puzzle action gameplay, though some find it repetitive. Spot Goes to Hollywood, 14th, is lauded for its vibrant characters and engaging platforming. Takamakon, 15th, a likely puzzle game, receives mixed reviews, with some finding it challenging and others relaxing. The page also includes an anticipated ranking list topped by Final Fantasy V2, highlighting developer updates, and fan-desired ports like Magic Knight Rayearth. A recruitment section for future reviews is also present. This page features the latest real-time game ranking from Ranking Street, a section dedicated to listing games based on reader votes. The introductory text explains the ranking methodology, emphasizing how player satisfaction and hit status influence a game's position on the list. It highlights popular RPGs, like the Far East of Eden series, as examples of titles heavily influenced by this feedback. The main content is an extensive table listing a vast number of games ranked according to this system. While the list is long and detailed, it showcases a wide variety of popular titles from the era, with top positions occupied by major hits like Sakura Wars, Virtua Fighter 2, Fighters Megamix, and The King of Fighters 96, reflecting the games that were resonating most strongly with players at the time. This page features the Cornhead Club, a dedicated space for readers to share their thoughts, illustrations, and game-related musings. The Free section includes diverse reader submissions, ranging from experiences with driving school and the popular Tamagotchi craze, to discussions about games like Virtua Fighter. Readers talk about their gaming journeys, including getting new consoles like the PlayStation and anticipating titles like Final Fantasy V2, Final Fantasy Tactics, and Dragon Quest V2, while others are still enjoying the Sega Saturn and looking for opponents in Virtua Fighter. There's also a notable point about the cooperation between Bandai and Sega and its positive impact on the Saturn's library, particularly for attracting younger players. The illustration gallery showcases fan art related to Saturn games, featuring characters from titles like Virtua Fighter, Terra Fantastica, Sangokushi Returns, Romance of the Three Kingdoms Returns, Power Pro Baseball 97, and the mech game F/A, demonstrating the variety of fan interests. A powerful illustration for Enemy Zero is also featured. Finally, the Voices Hoping for Ports section captures reader requests for arcade hits to come to the Saturn, including popular titles like Scud Race, Virtua Cop, Red Earth, Warzard, and Record of Lodos War, highlighting the demand for arcade experiences at home. This page is a vibrant collection of reader submissions under the banners of We Are Supporters and the Cornhead Club. It features dedicated fan sections for popular games and series, including the Dragon Force Friends Association, the EVA Complimentary Committee for Neon Genesis Evangelion, the Tokimeki Loving Club, the Lunar Magic Guild covering both Lunar, Silver Star Story and Lunar, Eternal Blue, and the Imperial Guard for Sakura Wars. Readers have submitted illustrations of their favorite characters and shared passionate comments about these titles. The Corn Kids Network board and Kids Live Voices capture messages from younger players, highlighting their enjoyment of games like Virtua Fighter, and even their experiences with the X-Band online service. The page also includes deeper dives into gamer thoughts, with reactions to Virtua Fighter 3 updates, a personal journey playing Virtua Striker, and broader commentary on gamer behavior and the role of games in society. It's a clear display of the Sega Saturn community's enthusiasm. This page features a mix of fan content and game promotions. The Sega AM Freak section showcases fan illustrations, primarily featuring characters from Sega AM games like Virtua Fighter, with particular attention given to Virtua Fighter 3 characters. There's also a section for reader discussion titled Emergency Discussion Meeting, where fans express their thoughts and concerns about Enix releasing games like Dragon Quest V2 on PlayStation, and the implications for the Sega Saturn platform, mentioning key RPGs like Grandia and Lunar 2 in the context of the competitive console market. A prominent feature is an advertisement for Tokyo Highway Challenge 97, known as Shutoku Battle 97 in Japan, on the Sega Saturn. It highlights the game's genre as racing/simulation, its compatibility with racing controllers, and its release date of February 28, 1997. Screenshots show the game's interface and visuals. Additionally, the Saturn Fan Q&A section provides answers to reader questions covering a range of topics, including opinions on specific games and characters, reactions to console market shifts, and preferences for game types. The page also includes submission guidelines for readers wanting to contribute to the magazine, and details a present campaign for Tokyo Highway Challenge 97, offering large Tomica car sets and highway cards as prizes. This page presents a major preview for Langrisser IV on the Sega Saturn, the latest entry in the popular simulation RPG series. The feature highlights a new strategic system and a story set 200 years after Langrisser 2. Unfolding a new legend centered around the Holy Sword. The game introduces a new protagonist, 17-year-old Landius, prominently featured alongside another key character, Rachel. Fans will be pleased to see the return of familiar faces like Jessica, Bose, and Chaos, whose illustrations are shown. Character designs are once again handled by the acclaimed Satoshi Urushihara, known for his work throughout the series, promising more captivating character visuals like the sketched twin sisters, Shelfaniel, and Angelina. Langrisser IV boasts a significant volume with over 40 stages, though branching scenarios based on battle outcomes mean a single playthrough will cover about 25. Screenshots showcase the tactical gameplay on the world map and character portraits in what appears to be event scenes. The preview emphasizes the enhanced strategy and the anticipation for this new chapter in the Langrisser saga. This page continues the deep dive into Langrisser IV, with an interview featuring the development team from CareerSoft. We hear from the producer, chief programmer, chief graphic artist, character graphic artist, and map graphic artist, who discuss the game's development progress and their goals. They highlight improvements over previous entries, particularly Langrisser 2 and 2i, aiming for enhanced strategic depth. Key changes to the battle system are detailed, including a shift to single-unit command within the phase system and the introduction of a judgment parameter affecting unit speed. The map design is discussed as being smaller and more strategically focused than Langrisser 2i, allowing players to grasp the battlefield state more easily. The scenario flow is described as having more freedom compared to previous titles. The article also breaks down the new system points, reiterating the shift in phase transitions to B per unit, the increased strategic importance of smaller maps, and the transition of battle scenes from 3D in Langrisser 2i back to a refined 2D perspective akin to Langrisser 2 for better tactical clarity. Screenshots illustrate these points, showing the interviewees, system flowcharts, battle scenes, and map views, emphasizing the strategic layer. The page also briefly introduces CareerSoft as the development company behind the series. Overall, the team expresses confidence in both the system and the scenario for Langrisser IV. This page introduces the mystery adventure game Cat the Ripper, 13th Detective, based on a novel by mystery writer Masahiro Yamaguchi. Set in a slightly different parallel England, the game puts you in the shoes of someone who's lost their memory and must rely on a detective to solve a series of murders targeting investigators. The core mechanic involves choosing one of three distinct detectives: the knowledgeable Drive Henry Bull, the tough Philip D. Barlow, or the perceptive Heather Lewis, with the story branching significantly based on your choice. The article includes an interview with author Yamaguchi, who explains how his novel became a game and discusses the unique aspects of this adaptation, particularly how the branching narrative driven by the detective choice allows for replayability and different perspectives on the mystery. He also touches on his previous work, the Kid Pistols series, which also features in the article with character images. Screenshots showcase the game's visuals, including a crime scene, dying message, detective agency interiors, and character portraits, setting the tone for a dark and intriguing investigation. The author seems excited about how the game brings his mystery world to life. This page presents a report on the popular arcade title Bust-A-Move 3, which is being ported to the Sega Saturn. It highlights the game's core shooting puzzle gameplay, where you aim, shoot, and connect bubbles to clear them. The article emphasizes the significant upgrades in this iteration, including the addition of new collection and challenge modes, alongside the traditional puzzle and versus modes. A major improvement is the expanded roster of 8 distinct playable characters, each possessing unique attack styles in versus matches, a significant jump from the single character in the previous game. New gameplay elements are introduced, such as the ability for bubbles to bounce off the ceiling, adding a new dimension to strategic shots, and the introduction of new special bubble types like the Star Bubble, Metal Bubble, Obstacle Block, Ojama Block, and the Rainbow Bubble. The report also features profiles for each of the 8 characters, detailing their background and specific abilities or bubble dropping patterns in battle, including fan favorites like Bub Lun and guest character Sonic Blastman. Screenshots showcase the gameplay, character reactions, and the new modes, illustrating the various enhancements packed into this version. The content clearly aims to excite readers about the significant evolution of the Boost-A-Move formula in this third installment. The next page delves into Quo Vadis 2, Operation Balance, a real-time simulation RPG. The article unveils new details about the game's evolving gameplay and systems, most notably, introducing the character growth system for the first time. Players command units called A2s, customizing their weapons and checking pilot information. While generic units can swap pilots, main characters are fixed. The growth system sees character abilities like search, shooting, maneuver, and melee improve. Killing enemies primarily enhances search and shooting, but crucial maneuver and melee skills, along with overall level UPS, are tied to clearing missions. This means focusing on strategic objective completion is key, rather than just grinding kills. A unique feature highlighted is the detailed emotional expression system for key characters like Hilda, Dion, Sid, and Neri, displayed during communications to add depth to the narrative tension. Examples show a range of feelings, from smiles and surprise to tension, anger, and distress. The page also includes a tense, real-time replay log of the first stage, detailing unit movements, enemy encounters, communication snippets, and key events like the President's escape and unit damage, illustrating the dynamic and challenging nature of the battles. Basic game information confirms its genre, single-player focus, and use of the Saturn's backup memory. This page focuses on the wacky shoot 'em up, the game Paradise. It highlights content from the limited edition's bonus anime video, which serves as a prequel story, introducing the zany cast of characters like Yuki, the transforming robot Zdyne MK2, the flying Pig, and the idol Momoko, who team up to stop a mad scientist. The article then jumps into the early stages of the game, showcasing the absurd bosses packed with parodies. Stage 1, Arcade World, features the intimidating Arm Champ 2 Yamada SP, a boss based on an arcade fighting game machine. Stage 2, Crane World, is filled with stuffed animals and is presided over by the utterly bizarre Catgirl boss, Super Carefree Richan. Finally, Stage 3, Shooting World, amps up the action with transforming mechs and culminates in a showdown with the impressive God Mutekinder robot. The game promises a unique and humorous take on the shooting genre, with bosses that are both challenging and comical. This page features a follow-up report on the game DXI Hired, revealing a major plot point. There is a second protagonist named Seiya in the world of DXI Hired. Seiya is a young man who has lost his memories and is described as holding a key to the story. The article includes screenshots of Seiya engaged in combat. Below that, the page introduces the full cast of fighters who will appear in the game, listing 10 characters including Seiya and others like Bowie, Lucifer, Kojin, Sanjuro, Mello, Schneider, Sabrina, and Saotome, giving a brief description for each. The page also includes a section on the game's music and an interview with the music producer, Suta Fujimori. He discusses his approach to creating the game's soundtrack, which incorporates various styles, including dance music influences mixed with more traditional game music elements, aiming for a fresh sound. He expresses satisfaction with the final product, noting that the short development time made it challenging, but also allowed for experimentation. The page concludes by mentioning that the interview goes into depth about the music production process. There is also a table listing basic game information like genre and player count. This page features a follow-up report covering updates on 2 titles, Samurai Showdown RPG and Cyberbots, Full Metal Madness for Sega Saturn. The Samurai Showdown section details the upcoming RPG based on the fighting series. It will feature 2 main scenarios and 6 playable protagonists, with the story changing depending on the character chosen. The article introduces the concept of the evil swords, objects central to the Demon Flower chapter scenario, and highlights a new character, Kazama no Shizune. Screenshots show classic RPG gameplay, including exploration, event scenes, and turn-based combat, reminiscent of the fighting game's special moves. The Cyberbots report focuses on the Sega Saturn port, revealing original elements added for this release. Notably, all characters will have voice dialogue, and the story elements are enhanced. The big reveal is a brand new variant armor unit called Zero Guki, exclusive to the Saturn version. The limited edition package is also showcased, including a DX secret file and an original panorama sheet. Screenshots display intense mech battles, including some of the new Zero Guki in action. This page features two distinct titles hitting the Sega Saturn. On the left is the authentic snowboarding experience, Zap! Snowboarding Trifix. Building on the popular video series, this game brings the thrill of hitting the slopes to your Saturn, featuring diverse courses, realistic tricks like 360s and tweaks, and even incorporates real-world snowboarding brands. It aims to capture the feel of competitive snowboarding with different race formats and a replay function to review your runs. On the right we have Tsukyu Gurentai, a fantastic vertical scrolling shooter from the renowned developer Raising. This is presented as an arcade-perfect port with exclusive Sega Saturn editions. You'll pilot powerful mechs equipped with the unique F.AN.AL.S system, allowing for all-range laser attacks. The Saturn version includes original modes like score attack challenges and special training modes, making it a definitive version of this intense shooter. Different pilot and mech combinations are featured, offering varied playstyles. This page features two different games for the Sega Saturn. On the left, we have a puzzle action game based on the hit anime series, Tenchi Muyo. The visuals showcase the main characters from the show and highlight the game's focus on combo mechanics. It was set for release on February 28th. The right side presents Legend of the Galactic Heroes, a strategic simulation game. This title immerses players in the grand space opera, featuring key characters and the massive warships from the series, emphasizing its strategic depth in telling the story of the two central heroes. It was already on sale when this was published. This page presents two distinct offerings for the Sega Saturn. On the left, we have Digital Ange Denu Tenshi SS, a Bishujo adventure game where angels descend to judge humanity's fate, with the outcome determined by the player's choices. The artwork features prominent anime characters and also includes depictions of a mech. A radio drama adaptation was also announced to run for approximately 2 months, starting in February. The game was planned for release in spring 1997. The right side is an advertisement for Interwave, an internet service provider utilizing the Dial Q2 system for the Sega Saturn. Key features highlighted are the lack of initial or monthly fees, requiring only the console and a dedicated modem, with connection charged at 20 yen per minute. The page includes a simple connection guide and contact details for the service. This page features a classic double bill for the Sega Saturn. On the left, we see the tactical RPG series Farland story. This entry, titled to Koki no Michishirube, brings the beloved series to the Saturn, showcasing its signature anime art style and grid-based combat system, as seen in the accompanying screenshots. It looks like the series' blend of engaging characters and strategic gameplay is fully intact here. To the right is a feature on the arcade shooting legend, Fantasy Zone. This Sega Ages release brings the colorful, unique world of Oppa to the Saturn. The core gameplay loop of flying through vibrant stages, defeating enemies, destroying bases, and powering up at shops is highlighted. The page teases the variety of imaginative stages and bosses Oppa will face, and gives a glimpse of the various weapons and engine upgrades available, from the powerful laser beam to the rapid-fire twin bombs, all essential for tackling the challenging environments. This looks like a faithful rendition of a true classic. This page features Paneltier's story, Keln's Great Adventure, a unique RPG where players construct the world map by placing different types of panels. You'll acquire these panels, representing terrain like forests, mountains, and villages, through various means such as defeating enemies or finding treasure chests. Placing panels strategically is key, as adjacent or stacked panels can transform them. For instance, stacking village panels levels up the town, increasing its size and amenities, while linking pond panels creates larger bodies of water. Discovering hidden caves or items is also tied to clever panel placement according to certain rules. Interacting with people in villages is vital for gathering information and undertaking quests to advance. Combat unfolds as a traditional command-based system, and you can even gain the assistance of fairies, called yusei,
whose abilities can be unleashed during battle.
The first stage introduces the core premise, tasking you with resolving an issue in the initial village by taking on a threatening monster. This innovative panel system looks like a refreshing approach to exploration and world building in an RPG. This page showcases two high-energy sports titles. On the left, we have WWF in Your House, a wrestling game that throws out the rulebook, allowing for wild action and commentary. What's cool is the 4-player support, letting you dive into tag team matches, battle royals, or traditional singles bouts with up to 4 players simultaneously. The game features a roster of 10 prominent WWF wrestlers, each with their signature moves and personalities brought to life. You can even throw power-up items into the ring during matches to give yourself an edge or hinder your opponent. The page highlights the diverse match venues and the detailed wrestler moves, including super pins and combos. Shift your focus to the right, and you'll find NBA Jam Extreme, the latest iteration of the iconic arcade basketball series,
now rendered in 3D polygons.
This game retains the fast-paced, over-the-top 2-on-2 gameplay that fans love, but with enhanced visuals and new mechanics. Beyond basic shooting and passing, you've got a dedicated turbo button for speed and dunking, plus a new extreme button that enables powerful offensive moves and even defensive disruptions. The page details special techniques like flashy alley-oops, the high-scoring smoking mode after consecutive shots or blocks, and spectacular ultra dunks. It boasts a large roster featuring players from all 29 NBA teams, with stats and abilities customized for each player. It looks like a fantastic evolution of the classic NBA Jam formula, bringing even more excitement and acrobatic plays to the virtual hardwood. This page jumps into the world of sports entertainment, featuring two very different titles. On the left is Space Jam, the video game based on the hit movie. This is a wild 3-on-3 basketball game, where NBA superstar Michael Jordan teams up with the Looney Tunes to take on the villainous Monstars. It features various game modes, including a tournament mode where you can play mini-games between quarters to boost your team's abilities. Each character, from Bugs Bunny to Michael Jordan himself, has distinct strengths in speed, shooting, and rebounding. The gameplay focuses on fast-paced action, with special moves and turbo boosts.
Over on the right is Wayale no Kiseki Extra 36 Holes, a realistic golf simulator.
This game is presented as the latest iteration in its series, featuring detailed 3D graphics and physics simulation. It includes the real-world Wayale Country Club course, alongside 2 challenging fictional courses. A new Supershot system allows for incredibly long drives, and the game offers a wealth of options and 7 different play modes, designed to appeal to both beginners and expert players. The courses themselves present unique challenges, from strategically placed water hazards to strong winds that affect your shots. This page shifts gears to showcase a mix of sports titles. On the left is Zap! Snowboarding Tricks, a snowboarding game for the Saturn. It emphasizes realistic sliding scenes and flashy air tricks, featuring various pro rider tricks and different character styles. You can ride through diverse courses based on real locations like Japan, America, and Europe, across modes like race, practice, and free. Air tricks are a big focus, with common moves like ollies and grabs, plus more complex spins. Over on the right, we find Fighting Illusion-esque 1 Grand Prix. This game brings the intensity of K1 martial arts to the Saturn, featuring many of the sport's top fighters rendered with motion capture for authentic movement. Key features highlighted include hidden characters that can be unlocked, different camera perspectives during fights, and the ability to change fighter costumes. The game also includes an AI character development mode where you can train a computer opponent. The roster includes famous names from the era, promising hard-hitting action and dramatic knockout finishes. This page features 2 distinct Sega Saturn titles. On the left, we dive into the world of street racing with Drift King 97s. Supervised by the legendary Drift King Keiichi Tsuchiya himself, this game challenges players to master drifting on the Shuto Expressway by tuning their cars. It features 3 game modes: Scenario, where you race rivals to progress and earn points for tuning, versus Calm for free battles, and Practice to hone your skills. Screenshots showcase the car selection, tuning menus, emphasizing engine, intake, and exhaust upgrades, and races on iconic courses like the Loop Line and Coastal Expressway. The focus is clearly on realistic tuning and drifting techniques to defeat rivals. On the right, we shift gears to a mystery adventure game titled Amaji Shiens. Set in a historic hot springs inn, the game tasks players with assisting the young detective Kindaichi Fumi to solve numerous cases stemming from a 60th anniversary party. The narrative is presented as a sound novel with 3D exploration sections of the inn. Key features include choices that lead to multiple endings and a focus on human drama intertwined with the mysteries. The page highlights different story arcs like a murder and a safe robbery, and introduces key characters involved in the events, including the detective's assistant played by talent Matsumoto Kanchata, and various suspicious guests and staff at the inn. This page features two distinct gaming experiences. On the left, we explore Another Angelique, which is a board game-style adventure set in a floating city. Players have a time limit to meet the Guardians for tea, engaging in mini-games, quizzes, and puzzles to build relationships. It's all about navigating the board, managing luck and events, and interacting with a cast of characters, including a mysterious merchant who offers item exchanges. On the right, we look at the Sega Ages Memorial Collection Volume 1, a compilation bringing 4 classic Sega arcade titles to the Saturn. This collection includes the strategic driving game Head On from '79, the block-pushing action of Pengo from '82, where you crush enemies with ice blocks, the flag-collecting jumping game Up and Down from '84, and the charming rescue action of Flicky from '84, where you gather chicks while avoiding predators. It's a solid lineup showcasing the simple yet addictive gameplay of early Sega arcade hits. This page showcases two distinct puzzle game experiences hitting the Saturn. First up is Cube Battler, Story of Show, a competitive puzzle game where you battle rivals by completing puzzles to deal damage. It features animation throughout and includes a story mode following debugger arc aiming to win a tournament, as well as a versus mode. Gameplay involves fitting cube pieces into a 3x4 grid to complete an image, with mechanics for attacking and linking pieces for extra damage. You manage health and attack meters while trying to hinder your opponent.
The game features 5 main rival characters like Anna Future and Bunharu Takayama.
Below that, we have Tenchi Muyo, Family Falling Block Puzzle, a competitive falling block puzzle game featuring the popular Tenchi Muyo cast. The core gameplay involves clearing blocks by lining up 3 or more of the same type, sending obstacles, represented as water, to your opponent. There are 4 different block types with unique effects, such as heart blocks sending more water, or Demon King blocks building up a special attack meter. Each playable character, like Sasami or Washu, also has their own distinct special move to turn the tide of battle. It's a straightforward but chaotic puzzle battle featuring familiar characters and an opening theme song from the anime.
This page focuses on upcoming Saturn software reviews, highlighting titles scheduled for release from February 21st to February 28th. It kicks off by mentioning that this issue features many sports games, following the first Saturn snowboarding title, and also includes 2 Sega Ages classics for retro fans. The reviewers introduce themselves, detailing their gaming preferences and backgrounds. The page features reviews for several different games. First is Simulation Zoo, a simulation game where players manage a zoo, emphasizing the love for animals over pure business. Reviewers found it interesting but noted challenges with gameplay balance and layout customization. Next is Paneltery Story, Adventure of Cologne, a unique puzzle RPG title. Gameplay involves panel-based puzzles combined with RPG elements and a story mode. Reviewers found the concept promising, but felt it lacked character and event variety, focusing heavily on the puzzles. Angelique in the Land of Miracles, part of the popular Otome game series, is also reviewed. It's an adventure game with slow-paced progression and mini-games. Reviewers praised its sweet atmosphere, appealing to fans, but pointed out the slow tempo and simple puzzles. Finally, Gungriffon 2 receives a review. This sequel to the mech action game Gungriffon impressed reviewers with its solid controls and satisfying mech movement and weaponry. They noted it can be challenging but offers a deep, engaging experience. This page features reviews of several diverse Saturn titles. We dive into the squared circle with WWF in Your House, a wrestling game where reviewers felt the characters looked good and the wrestling action captured the feel of the era, though opinions varied on its overall quality compared to other wrestling games. Next up is the snowboarding action of Zap! Snowboarding Tricks. Reviewers were impressed with the character's movement and the realistic feel of the controls and courses, highlighting it as a solid entry for the genre on the system. For golf fans, there's Wai no Kiseki Extra 36 Holes, a simulation game praised for its detailed course representation and realistic feel, offering plenty of content with the extra holes. Hopping onto the court, we have Space Jam,
a basketball game featuring characters from the movie alongside Michael Jordan. Reviewers noted the interesting blend of live action and animation, but felt the gameplay, particularly Jordan's role, was a bit unbalanced. Then comes NBA Jam Extreme, an update to the popular arcade basketball series. Reviewers discussed the shift to polygonal graphics and how it impacted the feel compared to earlier games, with mixed opinions on the change and gameplay refinements. Finally, the page covers value sets for two classic Koei strategy series, Sangokushi Value Set and Nobunaga's Ambition Value Set. These bundles offer previous titles in the Romance of the Three Kingdoms and Nobunaga's Ambition series respectively, presented as great opportunities for fans or newcomers to get into these deep historical simulations. This page features more Saturn game reviews, diving into various genres. First up is the anime-based puzzle game, Tenchi Muyo Rensa Hitsuyu. Reviewers found the chain reaction mechanics engaging and appreciated the character integration, noting it primarily appeals to fans of the series. Next we have Cube Battlers. Described as a puzzle-fighting hybrid, the animation and attempt to blend genres were commented on, though there were mixed feelings about the core game system and flow. Moving to the Sega Ages series, Volume 1 is highlighted, featuring classic arcade titles like Pengo. The collection was seen as a nostalgic treat for longtime fans, bringing beloved arcade experiences to the Saturn. Relatedly, the review for a game featuring Oppa Oppa from Fantasy Zone praises the port quality, welcoming the return of the iconic character and gameplay. Finally, a reviewers' roundtable discusses recent titles, including Magic Knight Rayearth, and potentially the snowboarding game from the previous page. The discussion touches on the general impressions of these games, and the current state of the Saturn library. This page features a look at upcoming Sega Saturn titles. On the left we see Monster Slider, a fast-paced puzzle game that emphasizes slide actions and big chain reactions using the L and R buttons. The visuals mix 3D character models with 2D elements, promising a satisfying gameplay experience even for newcomers.
It's set for release on March 28th.
The right side introduces a character from Live UP to Elf, likely a dating simulation or adventure game. This is Session 6, highlighting Mitsuki Shizuka, the beautiful school nurse who serves as a love guidance counselor. The profile includes her personal data and descriptions of her mature demeanor and popularity among students, typical details you'd expect when getting to know a potential love interest in this genre. This page dives deep into Virtua Striker 2, featuring an urgent interview with developer Mr. Mibune from Sega's AM2 Research Division. The article discusses the evolution of the arcade soccer game ahead of its public unveiling at the AOU show. Mr. Mibune explains that while the core game remains familiar, significant changes have been made. Graphically, the game is about 50% complete visually, with increased polygons and detailed player models, making it look notably better than the first game. Gameplay enhancements include a new tactical switching system, offensive, defensive, normal, allowing players to quickly adapt strategies mid-match. Dribbling has been refined to allow for more subtle angle changes, and passing has been improved for smoother play. The team is focusing on adding depth through player actions and tactical nuances. Mr. Mibune also touches on the challenges of balancing player parameters, and briefly discusses the possibility of a home console release, noting his personal interest in creating engaging consumer soccer games. The page is filled with dynamic screenshots showcasing the improved graphics, varied actions, and the new replay feature, highlighting the game's vibrant atmosphere and tactical depth. The game was announced as playable at the upcoming AOU show, providing fans a chance to experience the improvements firsthand. This page provides an in-depth guide to playing as Jeffrey McWild in Virtua Fighter 3, focusing on his powerful offensive capabilities. As a grappler, Jeffrey excels at throws and high-damage attacks, making him a formidable character when played strategically. The guide highlights key techniques like his Devil Reverse Screw, down left arrow P plus G, and the guaranteed follow-ups it provides, as well as how to capitalize on counter-hit opportunities, particularly after his low knuckle, down right arrow P, or low punches, which lead to devastating low throws. The article also details specific combos, including powerful two-hit sequences initiated by his torque kick, down left arrow K, and high damage possibilities following a successful backslow, down left arrow P plus G, emphasizing moves like the backbreaker, P plus G, or the confirmed elbow stamp, down left arrow P. Several air combos are showcased, demonstrating how to utilize moves like the middle hell stab, down left arrow P plus K, vertical upper, down right arrow P, and knee attack, down left arrow K, to rack up significant damage after launching an opponent. While mentioning his slow punch speed as a potential weakness, the guide reinforces that understanding his strengths in throws, counterhits, and specific high-damage opportunities is crucial for victory with Jeffrey McWild. The page is filled with screenshots illustrating these key moments and combo sequences.
This page kicks off with an exciting look at the hidden characters in Fighters Megamix, showcasing the mysterious bear and palm tree fighters. The article expresses the surprise and intrigue surrounding these unique additions, providing details on how players can unlock them and featuring screenshots of their gameplay. It also includes a section detailing high-level combos for other hidden characters like Yuraban, Janet, and Siba. Shifting focus, the page announces an extension to the entry deadline for the official Virtua Cop 2 high-score tournament, encouraging fans to participate. A midterm report on the tournament is included, noting the intense competition and high scores being posted, accompanied by a small image of Sarah Bryant. The page concludes with an illustration dojo section displaying character art and announcing prizes like Virtua Fighter 3 key holders and Virtua Cop 2 t-shirts for contest participants. This page dives into new arcade game reveals from Capcom, highlighted as coming to the AOU show. First up is Street Fighter 2-1, New Generation, presented as the third look at the game. It focuses heavily on the brand new cast of characters joining Ryu and Ken, emphasizing a shift to a new generation and showcasing the new super art system. Screenshots display various fighters like Dudley, Necro, Alex, Yang, Yoon, Ibuki, and Elena in action. Next is Battle Circuit, a 4-player co-op beat-em-up. Players control a team of bounty-hunting cyborgs and unique characters like Captain Silver, Cyber Blue, Yellow Beast, Pink Ostrich, and Alien Green. The game features horizontal scrolling action and a battle download system, allowing players to upgrade their characters' abilities during the game. Screenshots show the vibrant character designs and chaotic gameplay. Finally, the page introduces Darkstalker's Savior. Darkstalker's Savior, the latest entry in the popular fighting series. It promises the return of fan favorites, with updated graphics for their special moves, and the introduction of new characters and systems like chain combos. Screenshots show gameplay featuring characters like Dimitri and Sasquatch. The page concludes by mentioning the upcoming AOU show in February as the place where attendees can get hands-on with these new titles. This page features a collection of game tips and tricks submitted by readers. We start with Battlevay, highlighting how loading screen messages change depending on the date, including special ones for Valentine's Day, and a tip for achieving the lover ending. For 2 tax gold, players can access a secret menu by inputting a code at the logo screen, revealing options for story or game-only modes. And there's a trick to change background graphics in panic zones. The dating sim, possibly from the M series, details how to select exchange partners and unlock a hidden character by answering questions correctly and viewing specific endings. Moving on, Mega Man 8 offers a tip to unlock a menu to view all character animations used in the game. Grid Runner, Grid Wars features a password that unlocks a special Grid Racer mode for competitive play. Batsugun players can discover details about the character Iceman by holding buttons during the ending sequence. For Tarumaru, Demon Hunter, holding a direction during character selection unlocks a different color scheme for the protagonists in versus mode. Terra Fantastica allows players to manipulate the camera in battle using the R button and directional inputs. And in Fist, a camera change mode during replay can be accessed and controlled with the face buttons. Finally, there's a call for reader submissions for more game tips to be featured in the magazine. The page previews upcoming game releases, starting with Giant Unsolved, an adventure game where players investigate a murder, uncover supernatural elements, and make choices impacting the story. The Zaman 2, a game creation tool, lets users design vertical or horizontal shooters, customizing everything from enemy graphics to level design. Finally, Dragons of China, an adventure set in ancient China, focuses on sealing an evil dragon through the power of benevolent dragons, featuring command choices, battles, and exploration. Screenshots and artwork showcase key features of each game. This preview highlights several upcoming games. Casper is a puzzle-solving adventure game based on the movie, where players control a friendly ghost. Fantasy Step is a picture book-inspired adventure, where a young boy explores a mystical world to collect items and save it. Cloud Country, the third world in a larger RPG, tasks players with building bridges across a floating land. Eberouge is a simulation game focusing on school life, magic, and romance, with players guiding a character through 5 years. Finally,
Zerone Champ Duzij Typer is a racing game with a dating simulation element, allowing players to interact with various girls and potentially influence the story. The next page provides previews of several exciting upcoming Sega Saturn games covering a range of genres. Breakpoint offers realistic polygonal tennis action with motion-captured player movements, multiple camera views, and support for up to 4 players. Tokyo Shadow is an adventure game set in the streets of Shibuya, where players investigate strange occurrences and make choices that influence the unfolding story. J-League Victory Goal 97 brings updated rosters, new team uniforms, and enhanced player animations via motion capture, complemented by live commentary to capture the atmosphere of a real soccer match. Illusion of the Black Bass is a unique fishing simulation with a fantastical twist, tasking players with catching various fish using different lures and techniques in pursuit of the legendary black bass. Civilization New World 7 Civilizations is a strategy simulation game allowing players to guide a civilization through history, developing technology, and expanding their empire on a randomly generated map. Finally, a short section highlights new trends, mentioning a high-definition MPEG version of Lunar, Silver Star, and a volleyball simulation game called Prism Coat. Overall, the page showcases a diverse lineup aimed at different player preferences. The next page celebrates the 100th issue of the magazine with a special fan appreciation giveaway, offering readers a chance to win a variety of prizes from Sega's different development divisions. These divisions, including AM2, AM3, PC Division, CS Promotion, and CS Development, contributed game software, exclusive merchandise, and promotional items. Some of the coveted prizes included t-shirts featuring popular titles like Fighters Mega Mix and Virtua Fighter Kids, posters for games such as Manx TT Superbike and Last Bronx, and collectibles ranging from Sega Rally Championship badges and Daytona USA stickers to Sonic plush toys and calendars for Nights into Dreams and Virtua Fighter 3. The giveaway also included PC versions of classic titles like Virtua Cop, Daytona USA, and Echo the Dolphin, as well as items related to Shining the Holy Ark, Cyber Troopers Virtualon, Sakura Wars, Genesis Collections, and Panzer Dragoon posters and apparel. The page is filled with images showcasing the wide assortment of prizes available, highlighting the depth and variety of Sega's offerings at the time. This page features a special fan appreciation giveaway for the 100th issue, offering diverse Sega game merchandise, software, and promotional items from various divisions to lucky readers. This page continues the magazine's massive 100th issue special giveaway, extending beyond Sega's internal studios to feature prizes from a wide array of other publishers. Readers had the chance to win software for popular titles like The King of Fighters 96, Real Bout Fatal Fury, Batsugun, Earthworm Jim 2, Elevator Action Returns, and Assault Suits Lanos 2. Beyond just games, the prizes showcased unique merchandise, including posters for Super Atragan and Tenchi Muyo, a breakthrough hoodie, Super Real Mahjong PV calendars and visual libraries, an Eve Burst Error illustration, and Dukyusei 2 character pillows. There were also quirky items like Ogre Battle Tarot cards, a Hyper Securities SS voice actor signed poster, an Angel graffiti mug, and Assault Suits Lanos 2 keychains and phone card sets. Bandai even offered a bundle, including Mobile Suit Gundam side story software. The most eye-catching prize was a life-size pop figure of Kyo Kusanagi from the King of Fighters series. The application deadline was February 27th, with winners to be announced in the March 28th issue, promising even more prizes in the next installment. This page truly highlights the diverse gaming landscape and the excitement surrounding these titles during that era. This page presents a comprehensive release calendar for Sega Saturn titles, titled New Production Sale Calendar. It details upcoming games from February onwards, featuring titles with confirmed dates, as well as games listed as coming soon across various seasons, and even tentatively scheduled for 1997, or with unconfirmed release dates. The calendar showcases a wide array of genres, from popular arcade ports like Metal Slug and fighting games like Virtua Fighter sequels and X-Men vs. Street Fighter, to role-playing games such as Grandia, Lunar, and Langrisser, and simulation titles including Sakura Wars and Nobunaga's Ambition. Fans of horror had Resident Evil and Castlevania Symphony of the Night to look forward to, while the list also includes unique Japanese titles, sports games, puzzles, and compilations like the Sega Ages series. The page also includes a key explaining notations used in the calendar, such as highlighting new titles or those with name changes. The sheer volume of releases listed demonstrates the robust support the Saturn was receiving from various publishers at the time, giving players a lot to anticipate in the coming months and beyond.
This page features a prominent advertisement for the horse racing simulation game, Classic Road, from Victor Interactive Software and developed by Progress. Positioned as the pinnacle of the genre, the game challenges players to become trainers, raising horses from their debut at age 3 to competing in the classic races at age 4, including the prestigious Japan Derby. A key feature is the ability to race against famous horses from the years 1988 through 1996, allowing for dream matchups. The game boasts powerful full-polygon race scenes, support for up to 4 players simultaneously, and 3 different versus modes, offering varied ways to play. Screenshots show various game screens covering stable management, horse condition, stats including bloodlines and temperaments, and views of the races themselves. Elsewhere on the page, the Saturn Fan Magazine highlights its upcoming issue, number 5, releasing on February 28th, teasing features on Evangelion 2nd, Grandia, Machine Head, Nadesico, and a collection of character goods. There's also a section for reader inquiries and magazine information, alongside a comprehensive game index listing numerous titles featured or reviewed within the issue. This page announces the emergency release decided for a special sentimental graffiti title on Sega Saturn. The page prominently features vibrant artwork of several of the game's signature anime-style female characters. It details a limited 30,000 Super Collector's disc, packed with bonus content. This includes a digital art gallery showcasing 100 high-resolution illustrations by Tomohisa Sakai, and a digital setting collection with 240 character setting drawings. Unique video content features an audition movie documenting the voice actor selection process, and a message movie with full-motion video messages from the 12 voice actors. As a gorgeous bonus, purchasers also receive a premium calendar drawn by Tomohisa Sakai. The release is scheduled for March 28th, priced at 2,980 yen, excluding tax. The page also briefly mentions related media like a music CD and a radio show, expanding the sentimental graffiti world. This page celebrates the Sega Saturn Fan Magazine reaching its 100th issue milestone. To commemorate this, they are releasing a special valuable CD jacket collection featuring artwork from 13 famous games previously featured on the magazine's covers between 1995 and 1996. This collection is touted as being super useful, with 200% utility. The games highlighted in the collection include Sega Rally Championship, Panzer Dragoon Saga, Fighting Vipers, Guardian Heroes, Virtua Fighter 2, Nights into Dreams, Gungrafon, Dragon Force, Darkstalkers, Street Fighter Alpha, and others like Nononura Bayuin no Hitobito, Dukyusei If, and Albert Odyssey Gaiden. The page features vibrant character artwork from several of these classic Saturn titles, showcasing the diverse range of genres covered. This page focuses on the valuable CD jacket collection, highlighting the inclusion of the classic 3D fighting game, Virtua Fighter 2. The top section provides basic game information like genre and player count. Below that, a strategy guide section gives insights into Virtua Fighter 2, praising its graphics and character roster expanded from the first game. It mentions the inclusion of character-specific aerial combos and Dural's command list as part of the CD jacket content, aiming to assist players. A screenshot shows the player's select screen featuring Akira and Lion, confirming the faithful arcade port. The lower section of the page showcases several of the magazine covers included in the collection, featuring artwork from various Sega Saturn titles such as Street Fighter Alpha, Vampire Hunter, Darkstalkers, Gungrafon, Panzer, Dragoon Saga, Dragon Force, Guardian Heroes, Nights into Dreams, and others like Nononura Bayuin no Hitobito, Dukyusei If, and Albert Odyssey Gaiden. These images represent the range of popular games covered by the magazine during the period featured in the collection. This page continues the focus on the valuable CD jacket collection, showcasing more essential Sega Saturn titles. We get an in-depth look at Virtua Fighter 2, highlighting its diverse cast of 10 unique characters. The magazine provides a concise profile for each fighter, detailing their fighting style and featuring a small portrait, from the formidable Akira to the evasive Lao. While extensive character move lists are presented, the true depth lies in understanding each combatant's strengths and strategies. The page then shifts to Sega Rally Championship, hailed as a groundbreaking, realistic rally racing game. The article emphasizes the addictive time attack mode,
challenging players to shave off milliseconds on every course across various difficulty levels. It praises the Saturn version as an excellent arcade port with additional features. A dedicated section offers guidance on mastering the lakeside track, complete with a map and turn-by-turn strategy points illustrated with screenshots. This page continues the look at Sega Rally Championship, providing detailed strategies for the desert and forest courses, complete with illustrated maps and point-by-point driving guidance to master each turn and jump. It also reveals cheat codes to unlock the iconic Lancia Stratos and Toyota Celica rally cars, as well as instructions for accessing mirror mode in Time Attack for an extra challenge. The page then shifts focus to the cult classic Guardian Heroes. This unique title is described as a chaotic side-scrolling beat-em-up blended with RPG elements, featuring a distinctive 3-plane combat system and supporting up to 6 players in its raucous versus mode. The content highlights features useful for players, including details on story mode's branching paths and how to uncover hidden Ultec special moves for characters like Randy. It also explains how to unlock additional playable characters for versus mode, and even provides instructions for accessing a debug mode and hidden arenas for dedicated fans. The emphasis is clearly on revealing the game's depth and hidden content beyond the initial playthrough. This page continues exploring Guardian Heroes, delving into its unique karma point system. It details how player actions, such as sparing or attacking civilians and enemies or destroying objects, directly affect this score, ultimately determining which of the game's multiple endings you'll reach. There's also a helpful guide mapping out the story mode's branching paths, showing how different choices lead to diverse stages and narrative outcomes. The page then shifts focus to the popular 2D fighter, Street Fighter Alpha. It provides a quick overview of the game and dives into practical guidance for players. This includes insights into the game's mechanics, highlighting the inclusion of new characters and the dynamic combo system. Crucially, the page offers extensive move lists for key characters like Ryu, Ken, Charlie, Azadon, Guy, and others, detailing their special moves, super combos, and essential inputs needed to master their fighting styles and unleash devastating techniques in battle. This page continues the deep dive into fighting games. On the left, it wraps up the coverage of Street Fighter Alpha, detailing commands to unlock hidden characters and listing Dan's special moves, alongside an explanation of the dramatic mode, where 2 players can team up against a single opponent. The main focus shifts to the highly anticipated Darkstalker's Revenge, Vampire Hunter in Japan. The page provides basic game details like genre and player count. A section titled Point Guidance highlights the game's impressive graphics, its emphasis on chain combos, and the carefully balanced gameplay. It notes that while the combo system is key, the game is accessible enough for newcomers. Multiple screenshots showcase various characters and intense battles, illustrating the game's visual style and action. Additional tips elaborate on mechanics like guarding and suggest character-specific strategies, reinforcing the game's depth. The next page wraps up the Darkstalker's Revenge coverage, showing how to unlock additional options and adjust game speed via command inputs. It also details specific conditions for unlocking certain win poses for various characters like Donovan and Morrigan, and how to access a hidden dark color scheme. The focus then shifts to Gun Griffon, a tactical 3D polygon mech simulator. The page provides basic game information, but the real insight comes from the point guidance section. It praises the game's realistic visuals and tactical depth, emphasizing that success relies on careful mission planning and execution in intense mech battles. Following this, the page details the 6 Great Ultimate Techniques. These are special command inputs that grant powerful advantages during gameplay, such as unlimited primary weapon fire, enhanced radar capabilities, assistance with tactical decisions like landing spots, the ability to weaken enemy attacks, and even unlocking access to the game's ending movie. Screenshots illustrate each of these powerful techniques and the game's challenging missions. This page dives deeper into tactical gameplay and hidden features for 2 key Sega Saturn titles. It continues the Gun Griffon coverage by detailing various Japanese military vehicles and mechs the player will pilot or encounter, highlighting their unique characteristics and even providing tactical maps for initial mission deployments. Following this, the page transitions to Panzer Dragoon Saga. Basic game information is provided, but the main focus is on enhancing the player's experience. It emphasizes the game's unique 360-degree perspective, and the fascinating system where your dragon companion evolves and alters the path you take through the game. Critically, it details the extensive Pandora's Box unlockable options, revealing how players can gain access to numerous gameplay customizations like different speeds, camera angles, and even debug features by meeting specific completion and score criteria. The page also outlines specific command inputs for powerful combat techniques like the berserk attack and manipulating the radar view. There's also a small, seemingly light-hearted segment titled Kuru Kuru. This page provides tactical insights for two notable Sega Saturn titles. On the left, it delves into the final boss strategy for Panzer Dragoon Saga, detailing the attack patterns of the formidable creature known as the God, and providing specific methods to evade its devastating attacks, including various laser and physical assaults. It also touches upon the scoring system, time bonuses, and how difficulty levels impact gameplay and potential scores. The right side shifts focus to the epic strategy simulation Dragon Force. It introduces the game's grand objective: uniting the continent of Legendra under one banner to defend against a greater threat or conquer it entirely. The core gameplay loop involves raising and managing armies, appointing generals, capturing castles, and engaging in massive real-time battles depicted through dynamic screenshots. The guide also highlights the starting positions and initial strategic goals for some of the 8 playable nations, showcasing the diverse leaders and their territories across the continent, setting the stage for the large-scale conflict that defines the game. This page features a deep dive into 2 Sega Saturn staples. On the left, it continues the coverage of the epic strategy title, Dragon Force, showcasing the 8 rulers vying for control of Legendra: Wayne, Goldark, Leon, Mikazuki, Reinhold, Tyrus, Gongos, and Juno, while it includes extensive lists of items obtainable by each nation, providing details on their effects. The true highlight here is the visual presentation of these powerful leaders and their respective territories. The right side shifts focus to the dreamy world of Knights into Dreams. It introduces the game as a unique flying action experience involving the characters Claris and Elliot, navigating dream realms alongside the titular entity, Knights, battling the forces of Wise Men. The main emphasis is on boss battle strategies, offering tactical guidance for defeating key adversaries like Gilwing, Gulpo, Claws, Puffy, Riala, and Jackal. It outlines specific approaches for each fight, detailing how to evade attacks, identify weak points, and execute successful maneuvers to achieve high scores and progress through the dream world. This page delves further into the dream world of Knights into Dreams, offering detailed advice for maximizing your performance on various courses like Spring Valley and Mystic Forest, providing key strategies for collecting chips and optimizing lap times to achieve those coveted high scores. It also highlights intriguing hidden events scattered throughout the game's levels, such as discovering the mysterious flower clock or finding the elevator, offering glimpses into the deeper secrets within Knight's realm. The other half of the page shifts focus to an adventure title, People of Nokura Hospital. This game presents a complex narrative centered around investigating events at a hospital and interacting with the staff. The page emphasizes the game's detailed branching story paths and the significant number of possible endings, stating there are 10 in total. Crucially, it provides a comprehensive flowchart, presented as an essential guide for players aiming to uncover every single conclusion and truly master the game's intricate plot. The accompanying artwork gives a sense of the game's visual novel-like presentation. This page presents a guide to the classic dating simulation game, Dokusei If, highlighting its complex time management and relationship-building mechanics. The main section provides essential point guidance for players, emphasizing the importance of efficient use of in-game time and understanding character schedules and routines to trigger specific events and advance relationships with the game's various heroines. Character profiles are included, offering insights into who you can interact with. On the left side, the guide for People of Nokura Hospital continues, offering detailed flowcharts that map out specific routes leading to different endings. It also includes a comprehensive list of 84 unlockable scenes, or CGS, serving as a checklist for players aiming to fully complete the game and experience all its narrative content and visual rewards. This page continues the guide for Dokusei If, focusing on crucial locations to meet the game's heroines. It provides tips on where to increase your chances of encountering characters like Sakura and Kurakawa Satomi, highlighting key spots such as Sakikura Station and Yanagioka Town as essential visit points for advancing relationships. The main feature shifts to Fighting Vipers, a pioneering 3D fighting game. The guide offers strategic point guidance, delving into basic character tactics, and the unique armor destruction system. It explains how to utilize aerial attacks and defense effectively, and provides insights into adapting your approach based on destroying your opponent's armor. A notable point mentioned is the presence of many hidden characters, with a special call-out to the memorable appearance of Pepsi Man. This page delves deeper into the world of fighting Vipers. Building upon the introduction from the previous page, it focuses heavily on strategic gameplay elements and character specifics. A key section explains the unique armor system, detailing how damaging armor impacts defense, and outlining techniques for destroying it. The page features multiple character spotlights, providing tactical advice and showcasing their movesets with accompanying screenshots. You'll find strategies for characters like Tokyo, Bon, Raxel, Grace, Picky, Jane, and Sandman, giving players insights into their strengths and weaknesses. A significant portion is dedicated to listing the extensive command lists for the hidden characters, offering details on how to execute their unique techniques. Additionally, a point guidance section highlights the game's numerous hidden options and how to unlock them, mentioning features like clearing the game without taking damage or achieving specific stage clear conditions. The controls section notes that commands are relative to the direction facing the opponent. This page continues the deep dive into fighting Vipers, offering extensive command lists detailing various moves and techniques for the game's fighters. It also showcases several unique and fun modes available, such as Hyper Mode, a wall-less arena variant, the comically exaggerated Big Head mode, and special costume options featuring Aloha and school uniform Honey and Candy, adding cosmetic variety to the gameplay. Shifting gears, the page introduces the RPG Albert Odyssey, Legend of Eldian. This title is presented as a sequel building upon a Super Famicom predecessor. Basic game information is provided, including its release date, genre as a role-playing game, and player count. A point guidance section highlights gameplay refinements, noting changes to town navigation and the evolution of the battle system to a side-view perspective with character selection. The page also details a vast array of weapons, items, accessories, spells, and special abilities available in the game, alongside hints regarding hidden sub-scenarios for players to discover. A comprehensive table lists many of these spells and abilities, outlining their effects and who can use them. This page continues our look at Albert Odyssey, Legend of Eldian, delving into some intriguing hidden content. The magazine highlights 3 secret sub-scenarios, designed to show different sides of the game's characters and world. These quests include searching for a specific old woman in Gigarl Town, investigating the disappearance of Olivia in Mycent, and helping a troubled Leos after clearing Falugasta. The first sub-scenario even ties into the game's internal clock, adding a unique element. Shifting focus, we're introduced to the adventure game, Even Burst Error. This title is noted for its complex scenario structure, allowing players to experience the story by switching perspectives between 2 main characters. The Saturn version is an adaptation of an older 18+ game, featuring updated visuals, voice acting, and animation sequences, although some content from the original was reportedly cut. The page also features a large, vibrant illustration of the game's characters, presented as a bonus print for a CD jacket.